So thank goodness I survived this. It was 200 over 100, my blood pressure at one point, and you're only supposed to be like, under ideal conditions, 110 over 70. Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. Definitely a thumbs up on that. It is going to be pleasantly warm today. It should top out in the mid-70s, so that's not too bad. Definitely a good thing on that. It's not exactly sunny right now, but it's not dim either. And boy, does it get dark early now. And when I mean early, it's not actually early. It's just like 9 o'clock. It gets dark now. I miss the sun. Such is life, though. Still, I have survived, and I slept last night, and there's a fly that came in through the window and is now buzzing around, so thumbs up on that. Ugh. Still, front-loading the videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be very cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be awesome. If you could leave me a comment, that would be double plus good. And of course, I would like to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. These literally beautiful and literally awesome people that are literally beautiful and literally awesome. They help to keep me and my pets alive. And that's a very good thing. I like that very, very much. And I know that the animals that I take care of, definitely appreciate that as well. They just can't speak English. I kept my hands up too long, I think. I don't know, so... Anyway, though, if you'd like to help me out and become a patron, there are links in the video description. If you'd like to help me out without becoming a patron, there are links for a PayPal. And if you'd like to help me out without sending any money at all, there's also an Amazon wish list link with stuff like cat food on it. Yay! And front-loading of videos over. Really, for two this time. So yeah, I actually slept last night, and that's a good thing. Definitely a thumbs up on that. As a quick aside, some time back, I can't remember exactly how long ago, it wasn't that long ago, like within the last year, I think, there was a game on itch.io called Angerfoot. And it's about a guy who goes through this big old maze of stuff, and you kick in doors and you can kick the bad guys. You can also pick up weaponry and throw stuff and things explode, but it's generally you kick, and that's really, really good. It's now on early access, and there's a demo for it on Steam. It's really weird now. There's a story to it instead of just bursting through and doing bad things. And it's really bizarre. And the one cutscene where you're just relaxing before you get a fax telling you bad things have happened, but I guess you have a partner wearing kind of a gimp suit on the sofa next to you as you watch television, and you are just using your feet to like pick up your wine glass, and you pick up some popcorn with your foot, and then you bring your foot over, and your person in the gimp suit opens up their mouth, and you pop in the popcorn, and they chew it up, and then you can keep feeding them popcorn until you get the news. It's really, really weird. Definitely you should look it up on Steam if you like action games, because it's really good, and it uses a dynamic type music system. As the action starts, the music pumps up, and as the action stops, it ramps down, and it's done perfectly. So definitely a thumbs up on that. Past that, just been playing video games, just been trying to survive. I had a bout of falling asleep yesterday. That's what happens when you just don't sleep enough. So, life. Plus, I got all sorts of other... Excuse me. I had a couple of swallows of soda just before starting, and now all that carbon dioxide wants out. Thumbs up. Oh, and of course I've forgotten exactly what I was talking about because, hey, welcome to my ADHD brain. And of course, again, thank you all so very much. If you watch these videos here, my vlogging in particular, I vlog because when my wife died in 2014, I almost went with her. I fell apart. One of the things that makes up my personality is, even though I am a social recluse, socially awkward. I don't know how to human being. I don't really like being around other people. I still am a talker. I have to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And I need people that I can talk to. And I don't have anybody around that I can talk to. I don't know anyone here. My housemates are not big talkers, and I am. So without being able to talk, nothing works up here. So I started vlogging, and I started to recover. So thank you for watching. This channel was started to help me recover from the grief of my wife dying, and it's still an ongoing process. It'll be a process that continues until the very day I die, but it is greatly appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. And of course, the sort of things I talk about are just what happens in my day and all the creative stuff that I'm working on for, in this particular case, the whole Razor's Edge writing project that I still hope to get done if I can get my ADHD meds perfect. Well, not perfect, better, so that I can actually do things again. Oh my gosh, I wish Ritalin hadn't almost killed me. That stuff worked well for my head. Raised my blood pressure so that I pressure tested my circulatory system. Had I failed, I would have been had a stroke or worse. So thank goodness I survived this. It was 200 over 100, my blood pressure at one point, and you're only supposed to be under ideal conditions, 110 over 70. Under not so ideal conditions, 120 over 80. When you have a big gap between your systolic and your diastolic numbers, the 120 over 80, if in my case, when it was 200 over 100, when you have a big gap between those numbers, that means there is a lot of pressure inside your head. And if your head vessels pop, you can die. Or you'll just have a stroke and try to live with your damaged brain. So yeah, Ritalin almost took me out. So I can't use that. Still struggling with my blood pressure now. It was, before I started Ritalin, 110 over 60 something. Now I'm lucky if I can get it to 130 over the high 80s. Thumbs up on that. I exercise, my body's doing well, my weight is, I weigh more than I should. I'm between 190 and 200 right now. And according to the charts that we use in the United States, I should be around 166 pounds. I've weighed 160. I look skeletal. I look bad. I look like I just got out of a concentration camp. It's not good. But 190, 200, I'm carrying too much on me. But unfortunately, some of that weight is just extra skin. When you get stretch marks, that part of your body is not going to tighten back up when you lose weight. I don't have stretch marks on these parts of my body. I used to be bigger through here, but the skin has tightened up. I have no stretch marks, so there's just regular skin. I got stretch marks here, and I got stretch marks here, and I got stretch marks on my belly. And if you've ever seen anyone who has any excess weight, what happens when you get stretch marks is you have something called collagen in your skin. It is very elastic. It stretches and pulls itself back together. When you gain too much weight and you get stretch marks, that's where the collagen strands break and your skin pulls apart there. And not only that, if your skin is normally, it's not normally this thick, but this is, relative to itself, if it's this thick, where your collagen breaks down, it can go like this, and just gets thick and spongy, and then it goes back to normal on the other parts where the collagen's together. So if you were very heavy, like 500 pounds, if you've ever watched Boogie, 2988, I guess is his numbers, but he used to be intensely huge. He's still 400 or 300 pounds, so he's still big. But he's got massive amounts of just loose skin all over him. I mean, I'm sort of ashamed to take off my shirt and such in public where people can see me because I halfway look like a wax figure that was left out in the sun too much. The skin on my body has normal, it's getting loose because of age, along with the whole, hey, I used to be bigger with stretch marks. I don't look horrifying, but I'm slightly melted. Thumbs up for that. But I am doing better that way, and exercising and such is still very good. Now, on my list here of things to talk about, past the things that I've just said, I don't really, nothing exciting. That fly is just really irritating me. It's at least one of them that came in through the window, and I hate flying insects. So afterward, I gotta try and chase them either back out the window or just smack them around until I can get them to leave this room. So, so if you see flies, again, my sincere apologies. That's one of the problems when you live next to a forest block in a moderate heat place. So, joy. I mean, when you go outside, there are clouds of houseflies everywhere. So if I only have 2 of them in here, that's actually not doing bad. But past that, as stated, I've just been trying to take care of myself, going on walkies, which is between a 5 and 6 mile walk every day. And I try to think, one of the issues that happens a lot, I have to tank up on THC, cannabis, before I can go for walkies. Cannabis is my pain control. If I do not have pain control, I will be at least, at the very best case, in a wheelchair. Before I started using cannabis for pain, I had to use a walker. I could barely move. Since starting cannabis, I've been able to go for like 5 to 6 mile walkies, but then I'm done. I am done. I can only stand in place for 20 minutes maximum. I can sit for hours, then I have to change my position by standing and walking, and I can walk for like 2 hours, 5 miles, and then I'm done. Stand for 20 minutes, done. So, yay for chronic pain and chronic injuries. Happy days. But I did go walking. Well, again, one of the issues though when I'm out walking is because I have to tank up on THC, quite frequently I have to fight songs in my head. I love the Strafe soundtrack, the Strafe video game soundtrack. I push it, I say it again. If you like just fast-moving electronic type music, you should listen to this. The game is fast-moving and electric. The soundtrack, some of the songs are kind of slower and brooding, but most of them are fast and hard. I don't like to listen to a lot of video game soundtracks. I play this one all the time. When I want to get stuff done, when I want to move these things back here, I play the Strafe soundtrack. But one of the issues is I'll be walking along and then I'll be distracted by something. When I try to go back to my thoughts, I instead have a song come racing in and fill my head. Then I have to fight the song and try to remember what I was thinking about. But of course that space is being filled with music. So that's my creative time, and so I try to be as creative as possible while doing it, but can't always because I gotta fight the music, or worse, inside of my head. Sometimes I just think of goofy stuff. Like here, I don't know if I'm ever gonna do anything with this. I talked before about, I think it was yesterday, about how there's a superhero protagonist who has no idea that he is a superhero protagonist because he has no powers, but the universe is looking out for him. And when he wanders into a situation where he becomes the head of a supervillain organization and ends up killing a big bad villain that no one could ever take out the bad. That sounds horrible because I forgot how to speak English. No one could really harm. When this person got pissed and started rampaging, it took teams to just take them down. And one of them that was trying to take them down, the functional equivalent to Superman, was tired of it, and for the past 5 years has made no bones about, letting people know that he is trying to kill this bad guy. When they're rampaging, he's trying to kill him because he's tired of this. People are dying, buildings are being destroyed, world economies are being disrupted. He's going to take him out. But teams and the functional equivalent of Superman still can only knock the guy out long enough to put him in some kind of prison until he breaks out again. No one can kill him. For Turo, the bad guy goes up to kill Tim and gets shredded, torn to pieces. The universe is looking out for Tim. So I figured Tim would end up trying to find somebody to talk to in the base and finding, a somewhat level-headed individual who's more amoral than evil, just trying to supplement their own life. They want what they want, and they're going to get what they want, so they make plans to get that. They try not to hurt people while doing these little escapades, but civilian deaths are a part of the equation. But they seem more level-headed, so Tim goes in to talk to them, and it was like, I figured the guy's name was like something Stoller, and the image I get is one of these people from the series The Boys, the guy who's got like the goatee and beard. That's kind of what the fellow looks like. But after Tim, confesses he doesn't know how he killed Forturo, that's when Stoller is like just going, well, that does make you twice as dangerous than you were before. You were dangerous when you killed Forturo. The fact that you didn't consciously control this power of yours makes you even scarier, because that's your subconscious that's in charge of this. And everybody's subconsciouses are just evil little gremlins that don't really care about anybody else, which is largely true. Our subconsciouses are evil little goblins when it comes to, I want what I want. But of course, everybody's wrong with that one. Stoller is incorrect, because Tim has no powers. He just wants to get the transmission on his car fixed. And of course, Tim, being lonely in this situation, is trying to reach out with a hand of friendship and is just talking with this Stoller fellow. Stoller is talking about how, yes, indeed, he does this to gain stuff for him. He's doing it largely just for him. And so Tim asks if he could see some of his collection of stuff. And, Stoller just shuts him down. I was like, no, of course not. And Tim he gets all flustered and just embarrassed. It's like, no, of course not. Of course not. You wouldn't. I mean, we're not friends. We're not friends. I mean, you're a big bad supervillain, and me, I'm just Tim. And then ends up leaving as he's backing out while saying all this. Just had the door slammed in his face. Didn't even realize he was trying to reach out and get a friend in this horrible situation until the door was slammed in his face. Afterward, I figured that this amoral individual starts to feel a little bad about this. Normally doesn't have a conscience at all. But it's like, here's this guy, doesn't know what's happening, and he just slammed the door in his face, and he starts to feel kind of bad about that. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. Gonna go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended, and even though I count American Sign Language, well, you've already seen how my brain works and or does not. So we have Jesse Koskinen. It is always good to see you in the comments. Thank you very, very much. JAYY, greatly appreciated. And I think it's a fascinating thing. I love this whole cryptid stuff that I've been working on. I think it's awesome. There's Stephen Blanchard, greatly appreciated. Loco5, you have some good ideas. Thank you, because American Airlines still exists. I don't want to slander a place that still exists. There is Yamil, thumbs up and thank you. Very good ideas. Zombie Wolf, I'm very sorry that you have had to deal with that. That is very, very unpleasant, and there is a huge stigma still. But thank you very much for the comment. We have Adrian. Spiders are very cool. They are awesome. I love them. Well, not to eat, but they're fun to have. There's Ben B, greatly appreciated. Spiders really do help. They are awesome. Adam Sauceda, Sauceda, thumbs up and thank you. Greatly appreciated. The Horror Files, greatly appreciated and good to see you. Nando Rice Cheruti, whom I am not pronouncing his name anywhere near the way it should be pronounced, but good to see you. There is Jaden, Sire, with an accent, and then Gieskam. Thank you very, very much. Greatly appreciated. And that is it. 12 people who left me comments in the past 24 hours. It is appreciated. I am socially isolated. Not isolated. I am separate, but not, I've forgotten how it goes. I'm alone, but not lonely. I am separate, but not isolated. I am socially awkward, and I don't get along well with people, as in I don't know how to adult and human being very well. But you get me out of my head and into the world, if only for a short time, and if only in text, and it is appreciated. So hokey smokes, I'm going to do what I can today, try and make some phone calls. Try to do what you can today, but survival mode. Live to fight another day. Then with the covfefe bug still raging, at least here in the United States, please just be careful. Take the appropriate and smart precautions. Get vaxxed. Get boosted. Wear a mask if you have to. Socially isolate if it's smart. And especially if you have it, please. But until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.